to Nizzy Sports Chat. I'm your host, Nizzy, and in this video, you guys, we're going to be giving you a little game preview of the upcoming big-time matchup tonight between the Raptors and Cavs. You guys, big-time playoff implications to go along with this game here tonight. Obviously, the 6th seed is somewhat on the line here. The Raptors are one game back of the 6th slot right now behind the Cavs. Obviously, we wouldn't take over that 6th seed if we win this game, but we would tie the Cavs with the same record for that 6th seed, with, I believe, 9 games to go after tonight's matchup. So fingers crossed here the Raptors can get back on track. Tough loss to the Chicago Bulls there on Monday, you guys. Cavs are also coming off a loss to the Lakers. So both teams are going to be hungry for the W in this one. Like I said, this is going to have a big-time playoff atmosphere to this game, you guys. It should be an outstanding matchup. Going to need the Raptors to show up for a full 48 minutes in this one. Right real quick before we start breaking down some of the injury reports and keys to the game for this one, you guys. If you can go ahead and like this video if you like sporting content like this, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're looking for more sporting content like this in the near future. We're getting a lot of support on the channel lately, you guys, and I greatly appreciate it. We're going to keep coming out with as much content as possible for you guys. But without further ado, man, let's go ahead and start breaking down this game coming up tonight here. Raptors are sitting at a 40-32 record on their season. Cavs are sitting 41-31, one game up on the Raps right now. Like I said, the Raptors lost 113-99 versus the Bulls. The Cavs fell 131-120 versus the Lakers a few days ago. Cavs are at a 5-5 record over their last 10 games, so they're not playing too good of basketball right now, just level at that 500 style of play at the moment here. Obviously, they're missing Jared Allen with that broken finger. That's a big-time miss for the Cavs. Rondo's going to be out of this game with an ankle injury. Wade's out of the game with a knee injury, and then obviously you got Colin Sexton, who's missing the rest of the season with his knee injury as well. So pretty much the same guys who have been out regularly in the last little bit for the Cavs are going to be out in this one. Over on the Raptors side of things, you guys, we're 6-4 in the last 10 games, 17-16 home record here. So hopefully we can get that 2 games above 500, as this one is a home game for the Raps. Flynn's going to be out with the hamstring still. He's still a no-go. Trent Jr. is a game-time decision with the toe. I would expect him to most likely be sitting out in this one. Fred VanVleet looks like he's going to be back in action. He's not on the injury report. OG's still a game time with a finger injury as well. I would expect him to be missing this game as well. I think all 3 of those guys will probably end up being out. Like I said, Fred VanVleet's going to be back. He just had 2 days off, so hopefully he's got a little more of jump in his step for this game tonight. We're going to need him to shoot at a little better clip than he did in the last game. I think he shot 7-22 or something like that. In the last game, might have even been worse than that. It wasn't a good shooting stroke regardless, so we're definitely going to need him to step up in this one. Pascal needs to keep it rolling. He's had 20 points in 10 of his last 11 games, 20 points or more. The dude's been on an absolute tear. We're going to need him to continue on that hot streak to give us a good opportunity here. Cavs are at an 18-18 record away, so it's pretty even matchup here. Like I said, they're 18-18 on their road record. We're 17-16 at home, so we've actually got a better road record than a home record right now. Raptors have really struggled at home so far this season, probably just getting used to being back in the rhythm on their home court after not playing there for a full year last year. And then obviously we had a large stretch of our season where we weren't allowed fans in the stands as well. So that obviously impacted the Raptors' home games there. So now that we can get fans back in the stands, things are getting back to some normalcy there in Toronto. I expect them to get a little more comfortable on the home court in the last few games of the season here. I think most of our games left are home games as well. So that should prime us up and kind of get us ready for a good playoff stretch here on our home court. So it should be a good game nonetheless, you guys. Going to need a big-time step up from our bench as well. They've been playing a lot better since the All-Star break. Guys like Boucher, Thad Young was a good addition to the squad. Precious Achiuwa has been playing great when he's been coming off the bench or starting. Same thing with Khem Birch, either coming off the bench or starting. He's been doing a good job getting a little bit better each game. So yeah, you guys, I think it's going to be a phenomenal game here. We'll go through some of the keys to the game before we round out this video. We'll start off with the Cavs, I guess, in this one. One of the keys to the game I got for them is they're going to need some scoring depth from some of their role players. One of the key guys I got on the Cavs squad here that I think can be a big-time factor in this game is Cedi Osman. This guy seems to go off on the Raptors whenever we play this team. He's a phenomenal three-point shooter. Once he does get his shot drop, and like I said, he's a hard guy to turn off once he does start getting his stroke going. So we're definitely going to have to keep him in check. He's most likely a guy that comes off the bench for them. But like I said, for some reason, the Raptors usually allow this guy to get rolling in games. He's had some big games against the Raptors this year. Some 15, 20-point performances on us. Like I said, he drops that 3-ball down at a hot clip. So if he can get going and get off to a hot start versus the Raptors, that's going to, create some problems for us, especially on that bench. He's, one of those guys that can really score at a high clip off of the bench for the Cavs. So the Raptors got to hold him in check early and often. Don't allow his 3-point stroke getting going. If you can keep him in check, that really eliminates a lot of their bench scoring right there. Because, like I said, he can be a big time asset coming off of that bench when he does get his stroke to fall. Because the guy's got a nice shot from 3-point range. So if we can hold him in check, we'll be all good. Cavs will definitely be in the better spot if he goes off. Same thing with Evan Mobley, man. If this guy can dominate down low in the post on us, obviously we don't have anyone that can really match up with him. Lengthwise, just because he is a 7'2" center. But he's definitely one of those guys who reminds me of more of a Joel Embiid who likes to work away from the basket a little bit more because he does have a decent jump shot and a decent 3-point shot. If we can keep him shooting those jump shots consistently and not allow him to back down into the post too much, I think that'll help out the Raptors as well. But if he does, start dominating down low and ripping down all those reboards, it's going to be a tough night for the Raptors in this one, you guys. And then another key to the game for the Cavs is Garland's got to outplay Van Vliet in this one. Darius Garland has been an absolute stud for this team this year. I mean, stepped up majorly. Who would have guessed that this guy would be an all-star level player? Especially, you had Colin Sexton go out for the season. You're thinking that the Cavs team is going to be squandered a little bit. And Garland has stepped up and showed his all-star caliber prowess. At big-time stretches throughout this year. He's been an outstanding point guard for their team. If he gets it going, he's an easy, 20 points and 5 to 10 assists in a game. So we're definitely going to have to try and keep him in check as well. Like I said, if him and Mobley and Cedi Osman get it rolling off the bench, it's going to be a tough night for the Raptors. We got to at least hold 2 out of those 3 guys in check, in my opinion. Those are going to be the difference makers in this game. For what I see anyways, obviously Jared Allen being out is huge. That's going to help out the Raptors a lot because he's obviously so dominant down low in the paint. And then over to the Raptors side of things, you guys, like I said, we got to attack that paint heavy. We want to start with that inside-out game. We want to be shooting 3-pointers, consistently early on in this one. I really want to see us get down low in the post. Mobley's their only big man down low there, obviously, with Jared Allen being out right now. So you really want to try and get him in foul trouble early. Make sure we're attacking him early and often in this game, making his life a living hell. Making free throws as well is going to be massive. That's another big-time key to the game for the Raptors, you guys. Been a little bit weak on the free throws the last few games. Haven't been hitting them at a very high clip. Definitely got to do a better job of that. Free throws can cost you games in the stretch of games, especially close ones. I have a feeling this is going to be a close matchup tonight. I don't see this being a blowout game at all. So we're going to need to make sure we're making 80% plus of our free throws in this one, you guys. Draining those at a high clip, and I think we'll be just fine. Same thing, can't settle for the jump shots. If we can attack that paint heavy, I think we'll be just fine. Pascal's done a phenomenal job inside the paint this season. Scotty Barnes got a great post game to him. Even Fred VanVleet's got a good mid-range jump shot from the foul line. I would like to see him try and probe in and get some of those easier jump shots rather than settling for the long 3 balls in this game. And I think he'll be able to get his shooting stroke going a little bit as well. I think same thing too. Fred needs to be a little more of a facilitator and off-ball player a little bit. Just with that knee injury, you can't expect this guy to be, doing everything and anything out on the floor. He needs to have someone else kind of take a little bit of the load off of his shoulders, so that way he can just be a little more rested. It's still while impacting the game and getting productive minutes out on the floor, but not having to carry the squad on his back like he did it throughout stretches of this season so far. And that'll just keep him a little bit more fresh for the playoffs, in my opinion. And then 2 more keys to the game I got, you guys, before we round out this video here is Boucher having to have a big night here. Like I said, he's stepped up majorly over the last couple of weeks here, pretty much since the All-Star break. He's going to have another big-time performance. If he can have another double-double this evening, that's going to help us a lot on the bench. And same thing with Thad Young, man. He's been playing pretty well. We'd like to see that shot dropping a little bit better. If you can get that shot to drop at a little more consistent clip, he'd be averaging close to a double-double as well. He's been really good on the rebound department for us. He can pass the ball pretty good. He's a willing passer. Pretty decent defensively as well. Sometimes he'll flub up the ball and turn it over, trying to do too much off the dribble on the offensive end. But, if he works off the ball a little bit and then kind of gets down low into the post, he's really good moving without the basketball as well, cutting to the rim. So if he can keep it, going in this game, try and get a shot dropping a little bit, I think the Raptors are going to have success here, you guys. Like I said, we need that bench to outscore the Cleveland Cavaliers bench. And, if Fred VanVleet can outduel Garland in this one, and Pascal and Scotty can play to their potential in this game, I think we'll be just fine. We haven't beat the Cavs yet this year, you guys, so this is a massive game. We need to beat these guys tonight. Last thing you want to do is fall 2 games back of them, not even have beaten them this season. So we don't even hold a tiebreaker on the Cavs here. We have to have a better record than them to hold that 6th seed. So this is a crucial matchup tonight, you guys. It's going to be a big-time game. Playoff atmosphere out there. It's going to be an exciting one to watch. I can't wait for it. I'll give a little prediction here. I'm going to go 105-99 for the Raptors. I think it's going to be a bit of a lower scoring matchup. Two good defensive teams here, both missing some players. So I think the Raptors will hang on for the victory to finally get their first win against Cleveland this year in a 105-99 win. But like I said, it will be a close game. We're going to need those free throws drained, to be able to pull away late in this one here. So hopefully the Raptors can hit those. Other than that, you guys, that pretty well wraps her up for this one. I believe we have Indiana coming up after this game. So that one we definitely need to win. I think we've got Indiana, maybe one other easy team, and then Boston. Might even be Boston after Indiana. I can't remember off the top of my head. But nonetheless, man, we got a good stretch of games coming up here. Crunch time's getting down to it here. 10 games left in the season. Can't wait to see where the Raptors end up in the playoff scheme of things here. Hopefully we get out of that play-in. Really don't want to versus the Brooklyn Nets in that play-in tournament. Would rather just seal the deal in a 6th seed. But we'd love your guys' opinion in the comment section down below. Where do you see the Raptors finishing off the season? Do you think we'll be able to get into the top 6? Or do you see us more of a play-in team, maybe against Brooklyn in that first play-in game? Would love your guys' opinion on that in the comments section down below. That pretty well wraps her up for this one. You guys, please go ahead and like this video. If you like sporting content like this, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're looking for more sporting content like this in the near future. Thank you guys so much for watching, man. And this is Nizzy with Nizzy Sports.